Hi everyone, and welcome to yesterday's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Let's get right to it. In the parking garage, Liv has Julian in her trunk, so not good. And Griffin sees her and there's this heavy bag and he offers to help because he's just so nice. And she closes the trunk and she's at the hospital parking garage. That's where they are. And, you know, they're talking a little bit. He asks what room number she's going to be looking for because the hospital can be so confusing. And she's like, oh no, I used to live here, I know the hospital, don't worry about it, hey. And then she says he seems familiar to her, like especially like in the eyes, like, and he mentions his father is Duke Thievery, and I'm like, oh no, that was probably really, really bad for a lot of people. And she says that, you know, she heard of Duke, but she didn't really know him. Liar. We saw that shine. And then after Griffin leaves, Olivia opens the trunk and asks Julian why he didn't tell her Duke had a son, because this is all Julian's fault. At Jordan's office, Jordan is trying to get leads on Olivia Jerome in every way. She's putting on social media, everything. And she's not sure where Julian fits into all of this, and Alexis tells her about the safe deposit box, and she thinks that she can get a warrant for it, like there's enough going on here and that Julian's missing. Alexis gets a call from Monica that their granddaughter is doing fine. Did she know the baby was born? Because she doesn't seem like surprised that the baby was born. I think I might have missed something. And that Sam had complications and she's in a coma. And that just makes me really sad. Jordan has Ava in her office after Alexis leaves, and she's questioning her about Olivia Jerome, and says that they believe that she's alive and involved with Julian in a criminal conspiracy. Ava says she knew no part of any of this, and Jordan asks if Julian ever said anything about an accomplice during the years or anything really about Olivia that could help them now, and she says that Julian said she was obsessive and compulsive about Duke, and she was pathologically jealous of his wife, Anna Devane, and she was totally off her rocker. At General Hospital, Sam, she's in her coma, and it just makes me really sad. Jason visits with her and says she's the strongest person he ever met, and he needs her to be strong right now because he's really afraid, and he wants a sign that she can hear him. And then Alexis arrives, and she's going to see Sam. Him and Jason and Alexis kind of, you know, have their awkward back and forth, like, and then Jason comes back to visit after Alexis, you know, says her words to Sam, and just the whole thing, I was crying at least 5 times during all these scenes. And Jason tells her how, you know, the stars shone through and he could finally see her at the bottom of the thing, and just, and how amazing she's been, and, you know, when she was shot, and, you know, when Danny came, and how good she is with Jake, and he needs her to fight, and they all love her. And Alexis comes in with the baby, and Jason lays the baby on Sam while, like, still holding her, and Sam reaches for the baby and wakes up, and now I'm crying again. Also in the hospital, Anna can tell Robin is troubled, as she tells her that Sam and, you know, the Sam Jason baby story, and the baby's good, but Sam's in a coma. Anna and Robin have a heart-to-heart. Anna wishes Robin had a sibling to share, like, all this with what's going on with Anna. And then they talk about the children Anna lost, and they inevitably start talking about Duke and how much they loved each other, and how the Jeromes always seemed to be there during their relationship. And then Robin wants to steer the conversation to something happy. Apparently Anna had already overnighted a present for the new baby, and Anna thinks Robin is hiding something, and Robin says that, you know, she's just been awake for so long, and, you know, worried about Anna picking up and leaving. So Anna promises to stay put if Robin goes home and rests, and then Griffin comes in, and I love him. I just have to mention that every single time. I want to rewatch the scenes where, like, him and Anna talk about him being Duke's son. Like, I have a mighty need for that. And then Jordan comes in and asks Anna about Olivia Jerome. And the fact that that name's coming up a lot in Anna's life right now should tip her off that something is not right. At NELLE'S, you know, where all the fun happens, Nell says it's because of Carly she's this way, and that Carly got everything she deserved. Going on here? Oh, piece of hair in my mouth, and it's still connected to me, like it's and Sonny wants to know why he was pulled into this whole vendetta against Carly. You know, what did Carly do? They all want to know. So Nell says, you should have asked my real last name, Benson, and that it should ring a bell. They have a lot in common. And Carly's like, oh my goodness, you're Frank Benson's daughter. And Carly says that, you know, he took off. He left her and her adoptive mother behind. And Nell says, no, there was a restraining order. And Carly's like, that's a lie. And after Nell's mom died, Frank wasn't good with money, and Carly says Frank meant nothing to her, and Carly says Frank only wanted handouts from her, and she said no, and she only really wrote back once to him to say, no, you're not getting anything from me. And Nell says, yeah, he meant nothing to you until you demanded a kidney. And we're all sitting here like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense on like 3 levels. 1, Carly never asked for a kidney. 2, why would that guarantee that Nell would be a match for Jocelyn? And 3, something else. And so Carly says she never asked Frank for a kidney, and Nell says she did, and Carly says, I thought Jake was the donor up until like less than a year ago. And Nell says, no, that's a smokescreen. Like, I'm sorry, Carly lived through all this, and Michael lived through all this, and Sonny lived through all this, Elizabeth lived through all this, but Nell's like, I know more than you, because my dad told me. Cool story. So Michael says that if she doesn't have any proof of Carly communicating with Frank demanding his daughter that she didn't know existed, maybe she didn't know existed, I don't know, because she doesn't seem surprised that Frank has a daughter, just that, then he was lying. And Nell says Carly's lying, and I'm like, what? Take several seats, Nell. And Nell says she did everything Carly did when she got to Port Charles, and what goes around comes around, and then Carly slaps her. And Nell is still convinced Carly asked Frank for a kidney, and Sonny says Carly, you know, didn't screw her over. Her father did. Like, this is all... I can't. Part of me almost feels bad for Nell, and then a part of me really doesn't. Oh, 3, because I was reading, because a lot of people aren't thrilled with this reveal, because it... I don't know. I liked it, you know. I think we all, starting like maybe 2 weeks ago, kind of saw it coming, with, you know, giving hints of Carly's childhood that Nell knew. But, I forget what I said. Oh, but Nell, like, she wasn't the puppet. I feel like they weren't sure if they wanted to make her a puppet or not, but she's not. We thought she was, but she's not. And Sonny calls Nell a vindictive, spoiled brat. And Nell says Carly had to pay. And Michael asks Nell if anyone tried to use her while she was here. And, like, she got to know the family. Did it ever occur to her to question what she'd been told and maybe get to know the other side of the story and be honest? And, you know, Carly, well, this is my little thing. I'm like, Carly should just stay with Sonny out of spite now, so that Nell doesn't, get the upper hand, or, you know, the victory here. But there's a few things, the next part's the NC, but there's just like one thing I want to say before I get to that. One, if Nell really wanted to make this all right and really wanted to totally be like, you know what, oh, my hair does look purple, I should just dye it purple because it just looks purple. Anyway, I'm sorry. Oh, look at me. This is what happens when I film in the morning when I have energy. But if she really wanted to make this all right, she could just say, hey, I actually made it all up, and I drugged Sonny, and I'm sorry about that, but nothing actually happened between us. Voila, it's all fixed. Kind of. You know, there's still the whole you lied to me for a few months, but basically there was no harm done that was, you know, nothing irreversible. But she's not saying that, which leads me to believe that this whole I want to stop what I had in motion was I want to put it on the back burner until I decide what I want to do, you know? Oh, the purple really looks good. Maybe it's just my eyes, because my eyes don't work when it comes to color. And now end scene. Carly calls Nell a snake, and Sonny, oh my, if you weren't watching Sonny in the background of these scenes, you have to. So Carly calls her, like, a snake. Sonny's, like, he's nodding and, like, shaking his head and nodding, and it's so funny. And she, you know, that she used Morgan's death, and Carly says the pain she caused is coming for her, which I totally, it's the rule, you know, the rule of 3. And Sonny tells her she made a bad enemy, more than one, which okay, even if you were going to go after Carly, as soon as you saw who she's married to, would you not reverse course immediately? Because I would. Carly and Sonny are outside the door, and Carly says what's done is done. You know, Nell's plan worked, and she can barely look at Sonny, and I'm like, oh, make it right. Is there any way that anyone else can reveal that nothing happened between Nell and Sonny? Like, is there anyone who can save us from this? Please, step up now. And Michael is left with Nell, Nell says she tried to stop it, which she could have in 2 seconds if she just would have told the whole truth. And Michael says he was wrong about her. She's, he thought she didn't know how to play chess, but she's been playing chess this entire time, and she played to win. Enjoy her victory. And I feel like what he didn't say is, you made 3 enemies. And when you make an enemy out of Michael, like, you must have really messed up, because I could count on one hand how many people are enemies of Michael, and that's like Nell and Franco. That's pretty much it. And so Sam is really awake, like she's off like the ventilator and everything, and she's holding the baby, and they got their miracle, and now I'm all happy. I had so many emotions during this episode, which means it was like one of the best episodes I've seen in a while. I mean, they've all been really on point lately, don't get me wrong, just like, this was like, whew. Griffin asks Anna who Olivia Jerome is, and Anna says she's dead now. No, you just heard him a lot. And Griffin gets a page, so he has to go. And by the way, I love Jordan's coat. It's like an ombre, like gray to black. It reminds me a lot of my prom dress, which I loved. Griffin, okay, oh, I wrote that. Okay, next point, because I wrote about my prom dress in here. So Jordan says Olivia may not have died, and new evidence has come to light, which is never good, never good. And there's a reason to believe she's alive, and, poor Anna's sitting there like, really? Cancer and Olivia Jerome? Like, does it all have to come at once? Really? But that's how it is, when you get bad news, it's all bad news. And when you get, like, good news, it's like, boop, like, here, there. But the bad just pours in all at once, and then you just got to deal with it, because then there's nothing. And Olivia locks Julian in the trunk again, and then Robin runs into her and recognizes her. And I'm like, no. Please don't hurt my Robin. Oh my God. Another pregnant woman, Olivia, is going to have an effect on. I can't. What's that, 3 counting Anna? Maybe there was more back then and I just don't know about. Oh, that was quite a Friday. So I will see you Monday for more General Hospital recap. I was on point this week, which I'm really proud of myself for. So yes, I will see you Monday for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.